This video was brought to you in part by Well, hello there. It's nice to see you again. Welcome back to the channel, guys. It's quite late. I've been busy all day. Was out the house for a bit, and so I hadn't had time to get this video done. So I figured I would get it started now. I want to say a big shout out to Chitubox. They have stepped up and actually sponsored this video. So again, big thank you to Chitubox. So I'm going to run the ad, so enjoy. This video was brought to you in part by... Just kidding, wrong ad. But the ad will be in the video. Anyway, guys, so what I want to show you is this. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Let's move me. This is Chitubox Pro. This is version 1.30. And as you can see, the interface is completely different from Chitubox Basic. So here, I'll load up Chitubox Basic. You can have Basic and Pro installed on the same machine. They don't cause issues unless you tell Pro to take over from the thumbnails and stuff. So when you double click, it will boot up into Pro instead of Basic, etc, etc. As you can see, guys, the interface colors are the same, but a lot of the interface is different. And so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing some tutorials on the Pro interface, and then I'm going to be doing the exact same tutorials but in the basic interface, so you guys can get to see what flavor works, what works for you. So here we have on our build plate some parts to make a Chaos Sorcerer. Now, the sorcerer I'm making in question is from an audiobook called The Talon of Horus, and he is called Ashton Kantor. He is a really cool Chaos Sorcerer that used to be a follower of Tzeentch, still is technically, but he follows Chaos Undivided instead. He hasn't truly dedicated, he undedicated himself just solely to Tzeentch. And so the only downside I see is this little help guide here. You can't resize it. That's the only qualm I have right now, is that you can't resize it. It's always going to be there. It's a real pain in the patootie. And oh wait, haha, just figured out how to resize it. You click the little small grey arrow. Haha, see, we're learning as going along. And so what I want to do is all these parts you see on this print bed are completely free. Thank you, Logic. You can find his stuff over on Colts 3D. I will post a link to his page in the video description, along with other links in this video. And so what we're going to do is we are going to be scratch building this model. It's going to be a long format video, so if this isn't for you guys, I understand. But if you want to learn how to scratch build on a build bed, then this video is for you. Okay, so what we've done is we've gotten our selection of parts and bits and pieces that we want to use. I.e., I saw this hand, this arm here from a previous build, and I thought to myself that would make a really cool sorcerer's arm, so I grabbed it. Well, the story arc with Ashton Kantor is he lost his left arm in a duel, and it's been replaced with a cybernetic limb, hence the cybernetic limb over there. Now what I like to do is pair up my parts. What I mean by that is, if I'm making multiples of the same thing, like obviously if I'm making a human, he's going to need a left arm and a right arm. So I put the arms to one side. I put the heads to one side. Okay, again, we're solely using Chitubox today as a build platform, very similar to Blender. Okay, now I'm showing you some of the powerful tools that are available within Chitubox Pro. So now, as you can see, my poor old Windows 3D Builder is still trying to repair this one file, and it's been trying now for the last 2 hours and change. I think the program froze, but Windows is Windows. So what we're doing is we're going to start with the base. Now this is a 32mm base. Again, you can get the bases and the base toppers for free again on Thingiverse. And so what I'm going to do is, like I said, is I'm going to grab our base topper and I'm going to lift it up just a little bit, and then I'm going to drag it over, drag the base under it. Okay. Now don't forget, again, we've got our new little shortcuts here. So don't forget, you can always remember the shortcuts. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is go to Move, double click it, and we're going to lower it down. Now, again, there is a few restrictions even with the Pro version software. Namely, one of the restrictions I've noticed is that you can't lock ASTL. So case in point, like you can in like Photoshop, where you can grab two specific layers like these, and then you can right click and lock them, and you can make them visible or invisible, as you can see, but you can't lock them to the bed, which does kind of suck. But you know, guys, it would be a nice little implementation. Learn to speak. It would be a nice implementation to have that in, so you can just like lock or group meshes together. That would make kit bashing so much easier. But we're going to be kit bashing this and doing it quite slowly. So what I'm going to do again is we've got to lower the top down. Now you can remember the numbers and write them down and whatnot, especially if you plan on doing this with a lot more than just one base. Okay, so there we go. We've got our top on our base. Now bear in mind, we cannot lock it. Again, this is where I would love to just go group and lock, but you can't do that, unfortunately. So here's our base, here's our top. Normally I would go control group if this was Photoshop, and then now I can literally, I'd be able to move them together as a group, but now I have to highlight both. Again, it's a pain in the butt. This is for all 3D rendering programs. Lychee Slicer has the same issue. Blender has the same issue. It doesn't matter. It's just a small little feature I would like to have. But you know, it is what it is, guys. And so again, like I said, now we've got our body. We're going to lift the body up. Okay, and I like to do it like this. I like to lift the body up and leave the body in the middle. Okay, now we know our base is of a specific height, so we don't have to worry about moving things up or down. We just got to slide it underneath our model. Now we can grab our torso, and again we can move him. Again, I would like the shortcut for move to be like M. Now that would be another little sweet thing we could do, is if we could click on our settings. Sorry, if we could click on our like interface settings, like settings and help, and have the ability to of course this is your function sections and whatnot. I would like, so see here we can change colors of the models and stuff that we're working with and whatnot, but we still can't like lock them and things like that. I would like to have like an option like you know, to set key bindings. That would be another little thing that we could do, that I would love to do, is set key bindings, and then that way I could like set move to M, resize to R, various other things like that. That would be awesome. It'd be like probably a little quality of life little thing there. But now what we're going to do now is we're going to move the miniature as if we've printed it, and we're just moving him around on the base so we can find a nice little spot. So we found a nice little spot for him. Okay, so base is built, body's built. Now Ashton Kantor does not carry a helmet. I'm going to sneeze. I can feel it coming. That's me. Ashton Kantor does not carry a helmet like most Chaos Sorcerers. Like most Sorcerers of Tzeentch. What he does have is a bare head. Or he doesn't talk about his helmet that much. He does have one, but he doesn't talk about wearing it that much. So what I've decided to do is grab 2 heads, and in that way, you guys, if you want to do print, like download these models and print one of your own, you can choose what head you want. I'm going to use the one with this helmet. This helmet is pretty cool. I found it on Thingiverse. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to move the helmet over. And we're going to pop it down in its little ball socket. Again, where it belongs. Like so. And then I am going to rotate the head just a little bit to the side like this. There we go. Reason why I'm rotating the head is because I need to see the spacing. No, we don't want to lift the bot. There we go. I need to see the spacing of the joints and various other things and whatnot. But most importantly, it also sets the dynamic for the pose that we're trying to go for. Again, this is something I would finish off doing once I've got the model printed. But if time's a factor, you know, and I'm trying to knock out a quick prototype, see, now we're just going to add the power pack. And if time's a factor, you know, then this is something I would do. Like, say this isn't for a customer. This is for myself, because, like I said, I'm a fan of Ashton Kantor. I know people have tried to kit bash his. They've tried kit bashing him in the past. There is some people out there that have tried making their own versions of him. And like with all 3D models, you've got to understand that you can't look at it from just one perspective. You've got to look at it from a whole range. Okay, so here he is our little Ashton Kantor doing his little, you know, forced lightning kind of thing. And then here's his cybernetic arm. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted. Thank you. That's not what I wanted. Okay. Are you done being silly? Thank you. It's my mouse, guys, so don't worry about that. It's not the software, it's my mouse. I've got to clean the laser. So, oh, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to press. See what I'm saying? I wish I could just, like, lock the file to prevent me from moving it. Now, again, this arm was so brilliantly sculpted. And so now I'm just going to rotate the arm forward. Now, of course, once you've rotated something, you've changed its pivot point. So, because these things don't have actual real-life ball joints, so here we go. I can do that. I can now look at grabbing the shoulder plates, shoulder pads. Again, so let's grab his sword, and we're going to rotate the sword out this way a little bit. Out this way a little bit, and then down. There we go. Again, don't be afraid to practice, guys. This is one of the things I want you guys to understand is practice. Play around with the software. You know, a lot of people are so afraid to try that it makes me cry, and I mean that. It genuinely does make me want to cry. You know, I know it can be intimidating. I do get that. I only got somewhat good at this because I practice, because I keep doing this, because I will, you know, sit down with a cup of coffee and put on an audiobook and just practice and just this what I like to call this is virtual scratch building. Okay, so I like that, but I don't like the position of where it's at. So what we're going to do is we're going to move him up. No, we're going to move the sword up. Bop, bop. There we go. That's going to work for now. Again, this is just rough. Now, he doesn't look very Chaos Sorcery to me. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab some little accessories like this, little scrolls, some candles, and a few other things. You're thinking, candles? Yeah, just hear me out. Now, most Chaos Sorcerers in the 40k lore were librarians, or librarians, or however you want to pronounce it. And so they like to use lots of things like candles and stuff. So there's nothing stopping you from grabbing a candle. Now, this is another lovely little feature I like, is the scaling. You just got to... No, that's not what I want. Where are you? Candle. There we go. We do have the candle selected. So we're going to move it up again. Hate it when that happens. Right, now it's up. We're going to hit scale. We're just going to... Really, bro? Fine. Fine. We will scale you on the ground. And you just scale it down a bit. Not much, just a bit. There we go. Bruh. My mouse is really acting up. Okay. So like I said, it happens to us, guys. It happens to all of us. And so here we go. And now it's these little tiny things that we add, like candles. You know? And of course we can lift it up. And then we can copy it. Now you do that is you go, where is it? Prep. And no, it's not prep. It's not support. Where'd it go? Earth? 1 second. Huh. That is odd. There used to be a feature where you could just like copy it directly onto the pad. Onto the plate. Where did that go? I am not seeing that as an option. Or am I blind? Like I said, guys, I'm going... shortcuts. There we go. Aha! Can we... Control A, select. Mirror. Well, could be Control C, Control V, maybe? Let's try that. Control C, Control V. Haha! It did something. There it is. Yeah, it added another candle. There you go. Simple copy pasta. There we go. And so now we've got some candles. They give it a little chaosy vibe. You know, you don't have to add the candles. I'm just adding them. And of course we've got wizard scrolls, because what wizard wouldn't he be without a scroll and a book and, you know, things of that nature. Now over here, you're probably thinking, what are these things? These are out of scale cloth. Now I purposely grabbed them to show you guys the power of the scaling option within Chitubox. So all you've got to do is hit scale and then drag it up to the scale that you want. Now, do we want this as a loincloth or do we want this as a cape? See, let's see. If we have it as a cape, now of course you could just green stuff or epoxy sculpt, you know, your own capes and whatnot. So that's just one option. Okay, here's another option. Again, we're just going to scale it up. Here's another option. We're just going to scale it up. And so you can just take you can just take a look and see if it's the right one for you. Now I am going to rotate this shoulder pad 45, and we're going to move it. So that it can actually sit on his arm. So, and it also gives me a chance to sit and think for a second on how I'm gonna want to do the model, how I'm gonna want the model to look and feel, and other way. There we go. So you can in fact lock certain rotates, but you can't lock its position, its movement. See, again, that would that would be a nice feature. The ability to just seriously? Sorry about this, guys. Should have done maintenance on my mouse the other day. It's just I hadn't had time. And again, so we're going to rotate it now 45 degrees. We're going to rotate it 45 degrees back. There we go. Go to move. And that was my compressor burping at me to remind me to get back to painting miniatures. I love it when my own compressor reminds me to get back to painting miniatures. Alright, so something similar to that. There we go. So it's starting to look something nice. Now, let's see. I think this would make a good loincloth, but it needs to be rotated. So again, we're just going to go like so. One more. And then we can go to move. And then we can now even scale it down if we want to. Just a touch. There we go. And we can move it. No. We can move it up. And then move it out. There we go. Starting to get there. And then we can even take this one and make it a back tabard. We can rotate it, not much, just a little bit, maybe 2-3 degrees. There we go. Okay, now let's scale it down just a touch and move it up. So you can get an idea of where I'm going with this look wise. And if you can do this already in some form of 3D, whether it be Blender, let's rotate it a touch. You know, if you can do this in Blender or, you know, wherever, you know, whatever your 3D sculpting software is that you like to use, you know, I say go for it. And there we go, guys. And then this one, we can actually even use this one. We can scale this one down. And then we can move it over. And we can rotate it. Like so. And then we can lift it up. And then we can add it to this shoulder pad as if it's like a flayed skin of some kind. Alright. So we're going to move it up. We're going to move it across. Like so. There you go. Now that looks pretty chaosy. So you can get an understanding of how you can do it, guys. Okay, and then of course we can add our little spell book. Again, we can copy pasta this. There we go. In fact, we can even probably copy it one more time. And have a nice little stack of scrolls. And have those like on his belt. Like right there underneath his cybernetic arm. And there, like I said, guys, you can do it with a little bit of practice. You can come up with miniatures like this, and you know, it just takes practice. And you know, I want to say a big thank you to Chitubox for sponsoring this video, and yeah, enjoy. Again, big shout out to Chitubox, guys. Thank you so much for sponsoring. Again, there's a coupon code down below. There's a promo code as well, so you can add in. You can try this Pro software for 7 days for free, and if you like it, like I said, guys, you can pay for it monthly or yearly. And as long as you use my promo code down below, you'll even knock off 10% off of that for you guys as well. So, ain't too shabby. Anyway, guys, this has been the Pro Chitubox tutorial on how to kit bash your own models. So yeah, guys, if you want to get this model, I will in fact grab it. I am actually going to go to settings. I'm actually going to export this as a Chitubox file, so you guys. So if you want this STL, I will have this available on the Discord. So if you guys want it, let me know, and it will be available for you guys on the Discord. Again, links are in the description. And yeah, guys, so until then, keep modeling on. I'll see you in the next video, guys.